without further ado, Sarah, why don't you go first?
I am so excited to read this just raw and
Yes,
live.
me too. Did you find
Okay.
the spot where you should start? There should be like an R3.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Go.
Okay. Donald Trump and Joe Biden had competing events at the Texas-Mexico border yesterday, where both men pointed fingers at each other for the border crisis. Notably, Trump attacked Biden for his administration's lack of action at the border, and Biden rightfully pointed out that Trump had sank the bipartisan border bill recently considered. I think we can all agree that these two men slinging insults at each other from several miles apart isn't going to actually resolve anything. So here's my solution. Get both men to the border, make them shake hands, and while their hands are embraced, push them both into Mexico and leave them there. They're both 100. You don't even have to push hard. They're not getting up from those broken hips.
I love it.
Absolutely stunning.
You sound a little bit like almost like a computer, like a good computer Siri sort of thing, with maybe the speed turned up just a little, with just a little extra speed. It's very. I would want to read the news in that voice in the morning, like just pull the thing and be like, I'm too tired to look at this, and then just have. It's a good news reading voice.
It's when you're watching a video, but you don't want to like consume it in the regular amount of time. That's what I try to convey when I'm giving information.
Yeah, I feel that. In Trump legal news, 3 things have happened. First of all, today, the Florida judge in charge of Trump's classified documents case will decide when they're going to hold their trial, which might be announced actually while we are live. Sarah can attest to, I actually checked to see if that was done before we started, and it hadn't yet. Secondly, the Supreme Court has decided to hear arguments in April related to whether or not a president gets total immunity for crimes they commit while in office. And this has taken some people by surprise, as the lower court ruling was actually pretty airtight, meaning there are some who have questions about whether or not this case was accepted because the extremist Supreme Court wanted to help push Trump trials to like after the election. And if you're watching right now, I want you to show some restraint. You shouldn't assume that the court, the extremist court, is trying to find ways to act at the behest of Donald Trump just because that's definitely what they're doing. It is completely obvious that that's what they're doing, but you shouldn't assume that's what they're doing, but it is what they're doing. And lastly, Trump's legal team has requested that they be allowed to put up only a $100 million bond instead of the $400 million he owes. That, if you remember that civil fraud trial in New York, $400 million judgment, after essentially revealing that the supposed billionaire can't afford it. However, the Trump team is confident they can come up with $100 million, as they are about to release a new NFT featuring him with this like banana-sized cock bulge. When asked, his team responded, "Yes, Your Honor, his fans are that stupid."
I want to see that.
Go ahead.
I want to see like the purple dick Thanos version in NFT form of Trump with the banana yellow bulge.
Yeah, it's entirely believable though. Did you ever see the ones that he did before the NFTs where he's like a superhero and he's all jacked, or you'd be like a sexy lumberjack, and it's like, what the fuck? What reality? And the worst part was, like his shoes, they sold super well. All of these things, like you want the scams to fail, but he succeeds. And so I don't know. He's got to draw in a banana bulge because he can't make one by himself.
He absolutely cannot.
As Stormy Daniel revealed in her book.
Oh, which is such sweet victory, to be honest with you. Okay. In a warning to Putin, French President Emmanuel Macron. Is that correct? Is that Macron? Okay. Macron. Emmanuel Macron raised the possibility of sending Western troops to defend Ukraine if Russia continues to advance. In response, Donald Trump issued the following statement. "You don't talk to daddy that way."
You got to do a Trump impression.
You don't talk to daddy that way.
Oh, that was even better. That was the best. Wait, do the whole sentence again that way. Well, introduce and then do the voice. That's, yeah. Just that sentence.
Okay. In response, Donald Trump issued the following statement. "You don't talk to daddy that way." President Putin did warn that Western troops in Ukraine could result in nuclear retaliation, to which I just want to say, do it, bitch. You think I like it here? Meanwhile, people close to Putin say his mind is slipping and he often gets confused. This became extremely obvious this week when he let a topless horse ride him. And I believe it would happen too. There's no letting about it.
We know the reverse has already happened, and are there people at your home? Are you allowed to yell?
I can yell. Yeah, I mean,
can you take it back from
video games? But
can you do President Putin did warn, and then like really commit to do it, bitch? You think I like it here? Can we try?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. President Putin did warn that Western troops in Ukraine could result in nuclear retaliation, to which I just want to say, do it, bitch! You think I like it here? Meanwhile...
I love it. I fucking love it so much.
Okay, now I know the energy I need to command.
There we go. Actually, keep going. Yeah, keep going. I want do the whole...
Okay, do it, bitch. Meanwhile, people close to Putin say his mind is slipping and he often gets confused. This became extremely obvious this week when he let a topless horse ride him.
So the thing I love about that joke is, one, I mean, I love jokes that people actually have to understand. Like, you actually have to know something to understand it. So that's a reference to he did a photo op years ago of him riding a horse without a shirt on. But my dude is not built to ride without a shirt on. And far be it from me to body shame anybody. I look like I've eaten a Vladimir Putin. But I know when is appropriate for me to ride shirtless with on a horse. And were I where he was, I would not have. But also, the phrase topless horse, does that actually mean a horse without a shirt? Or is the top of the horse is missing, perhaps, is because a horse sort of has many segments. Anyway, here we go. Mitch McConnell has announced that he will step down as, I was seeing if I had the photo wrong or something. Mitch McConnell has announced he will step down as minority leader of the Senate this November. The Senate honored his decision by observing a moment of silence mid-sentence. I got to retake that one because I chopped it up. The Senate honored his decision by observing a moment of silence mid-sentence. I feel like it's such a good joke that I ruined by fucking it up and retaking. Anyway.
I need to stop reading along because it ruins it ahead of time and then I'm like, tee.
I kind of like it. Mitch is going to finish out his Senate term, which ends in 2027. And if you really think he's actually going to make it to 2027, I'd like to introduce you to my bookie. In the Senate for nearly 40 years and as the leader of his party for nearly half of that, I think we should thank Mitch for the two very important things he did. One, he made it extremely clear that we desperately need term limits. And two, perhaps most importantly, he raised awareness of shit. It's because I'm trying to make you laugh that it's making me laugh knowing I'm trying to make you laugh.
Stop looking at me.
And
I'm going to laugh, Jimmy.
I'm looking in the teleprompter. I have a teleprompter. I'm not even looking at it. And two, perhaps most importantly, he raised awareness of an underserved community, human turtle chimeras.
Chimeras.
Look at him. How do you pronounce it?
No, it's chimera. I think it's chimera. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. I thought you were.
It's so incredibly specific.
Yeah.
You know something the rest of us don't.
Yeah. It's all America, but a moment of silence for May. It's the way he freezes.
That was really good.
Thank you. Well, that's.
I can imagine, like skills. I saw the jowls form as you were saying that.
This is all you.
Okay.
Good luck with this one.
A Twitter. I already saw a phrase that I know is gonna. Anyway. Now I can't look at you. Stop. Okay. Okay. A Twitter post from 2023 from the Heritage Foundation, which is totally not a Christian fascist organization, resurfaced this week where the group calls for an end to recreational sex. The group is also opposed to the use and availability of birth control pills and seeks to criminalize all porn in the U.S. This all comes in the wake of the Alabama Supreme Court making IVF essentially inaccessible, which the group sees as a great first step on the way to ending all recreational sex. Step 2 is to go for the source, horniness, which they plan to fight by distributing naked photos of Donald Trump.
There we go.
Impossible to stay horny in the face of a naked photo of Donald Trump.
1000%. What's funny is when I said good luck, I thought I had given you a different story, and it was this one, and you'll see why in a second. Okay. Back to the Senate. You are no doubt aware that Alabama has now essentially cut off IVF services to families seeking help and having children. In response, Senator Tammy Duckworth introduced a bill at the national level to try and protect access to IVF. The bill was introduced under unanimous consent rules in the Senate. Unfortunately, that means any senator can block the bill from making any progress. Enter now Mississippi Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith, who we fact-checked this. That's her real face. Anyway, enter Cindy Hyde-Smith, who put a stop to the bill, citing it didn't prohibit cloning or human-animal chimeras. There's that word again. This completely ignoring that laws actually, I'm not kidding, there are laws that already ban both of those, including one called the Human-Animal Chimera Act of 2023. That's on the books, people. After hearing about the opposition to human-animal chimeras, Mitch McConnell approached the camera, began spitting up silk, wrapped himself in a cocoon where he will now stay until the end of his term, when he will emerge as a human-turtle moth hybrid and then fly to the moon.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that that's something that's on the books for real?
That's a real law. The Human-Animal Chimera Law of 2023. They actually did one first in 2020 or 2021. So it was called of 2021. And then they were like, we didn't nail the chimera. We got to do another one. We got to really make sure we got this shit covered.
Is there like precedent for making that a law?
Yeah. People
it started with Mitch
dogs.
McConnell.
Turns out I had another.
We can't have it again.
I had another trick up my sleeve.
Oh my God. Okay. Tyler Boebert, 18-year-old son of Congresswoman Lauren Boebert, has been linked to a series of crimes in Rifle, Colorado, involving vehicle break-ins and identity theft. So between her son's crimes, her arguably illegal behavior recently in a Colorado theater, and the crime her ex-husband was committing when they first met, please, Lauren, do tell us more about the Biden crime family. Or maybe you'd like to go on about the conservative family values, even though since you took office, you have yourself gotten divorced and become a grandmother from the same son knocked up from the same son knocked up his teen girlfriend. Who knocked up? No, it's okay. Yeah. Same son who knocked up his teen girlfriend while still a child himself. And while I can't speak to their home life, I do have to wonder how much your parents are encouraging your intellectual development when you get caught on camera doing crimes wearing the hoodie from your mom's old business.
Literally did.
Not kidding.
Literally did that.
He did that. That's it's like he wanted that to happen.
I want to get
Maybe
caught.
It's a mass PR stunt.
It literally said Shooters Bar and Grill as he's breaking into people's places.
In Rifle, Colorado.
Yeah, that was Lauren's old bar.
How absolute. That's just life imitating art. Okay. These conservatives are such daft hypocrites that at this point, I wouldn't be surprised to see Lauren Boebert walking into an abortion appointment wearing a MAGA hat and a hoodie from a vegan restaurant.
All right. So I do want to say it is hard for people who are watching. It is hard to read things for the first time. You don't necessarily know if you need to start speaking sarcastically, for example. Maybe I should put sarcasm markers in there, like little things in parentheses, like sarcasm, because I need
stage notes, Jimmy.
Yeah, it was meant to be. So between her son's crime, her arguably illegal behavior recently in a Colorado theater, and the crime her ex-husband was committing when they first met, please, Lauren, do tell us more about the Biden crime family. Because she's got a crime family.
Oh, the Biden crime. Okay, well, you should have put it in italics. And
That's
then I
right.
would have been like, the Biden crime family.
Or done the SpongeBob text. The Biden crime family.
Biden crime family.
Every other letter. So anyway, it was still great. This is genuinely. I found out how hard it was when Dom and I were doing it the other day. It's tough. All right. In entertainment news, some of you are not going to like this one. I just want to warn you all. I'm going to give some hot takes up in this bitch, and not everyone's going to agree. Actually, I think a lot of people will start to hear my takes and think that I'm going down a misogynist direction. And then when you actually, like, if you just stick around, you'll realize you probably agree with me. In entertainment news, actress Drea De Matteo, best known for her role on The Sopranos, says the adult content site OnlyFans saved her life. So yeah, get off my back, Dad. You think you're so great because you're like a doctor and shit, but who here is the one really saving lives? $3 at a time. I'm going to actually share a potentially very unpopular take here. I am, first of all, a very big supporter of sex work, adult content creation, all of that. That's for sure. And I don't have a but for that. I'm very much a supporter of sex work. However, I do want to insert a really to this assertion that it saved her life. While I don't actually have doubts that that could be the case for some people, in fact, that has been the case for some people, something like OnlyFans, the financial independence and all of that have saved people's lives. Drea stopped getting work as an actress after coming out as an anti-vax nut job. And so this kind of actually goes to show you what the perspectives of rich people are like. Because what she is calling saving her life actually boils down to, oh no, she might have had to live a less decadent lifestyle and might have to downgrade her living situation to like the living situation of virtually everyone who will read the article that she's saying this in. So, yeah, I guess for rich people and famous people, that might feel like losing your life, like dying. And maybe it's the case that I'm getting too cynical. But I don't know if saying, as a celebrity with a large profile, I was able to launch an OnlyFans, but it's a Ludes exclusive OnlyFans to save my quality of life. But that's saving my life. I don't think that maybe is quite the brag these publications think it is. I think they were going for this feel-good story with a feel-good title. And then you just think about it. You're like, this sucks. Because I actually imagine for the thousands of independent creators who are working hard, grinding hard in the work way, I'm phrasing, and going further in their content, that this actually has to be pretty discouraging, especially with the fact that there is always a threat looming from sites like OnlyFans that they're going to abandon those creators, the independent creators, for celebrities who are only posting like lingerie pics and vlogs and stuff, because banks prefer that. But maybe I'm just upset because I have a face for radio and a dick for the hidden corners of Reddit. Like those really fucked up Reddits is where I post mine. They're on there. You can find them if you really try. And frankly, people actually pay me to not post on OnlyFans. But if any of you happen to follow her OnlyFans account, I have a request. See if you can buy a custom video from her of her getting penetrated and filled up by a vaccine. She's anti-vax. Did I go too far? Was that a little too? I feel like there were moments in that thing where I was writing it where I was like, this sounds like bad, but it's not. I mean, bring it back. And the fact of the matter is OnlyFans has already, like, people who are creators on there have already been threatened to lose the platform before, literally because of people like her who are like, oh, I have a huge platform. I can go get money on OnlyFans. People will pay because they think they're going to see me nude. I don't actually care that much about and then you don't get to see that. I don't care about the guys who are like, oh, I'm going to see her naked. I'm going to see her. That's just pounding on this was not a specific, that's, on their desk, they were pounding like that. They were pounding on their desk and a desk next to them at the same time. I don't actually care about their feelings and I was expecting to see her naked and she's not even naked on here. But the fact of the matter is that actually does threaten the people who are doing full sex work on OnlyFans. So go fucking do it on Patreon or some shit. But I'm glad you get to keep your fucking mimosas in your beautiful house. And I don't know why I associate mimosas with being like a decadent thing. Isn't that just putting orange juice in champagne?
Yeah, or vice versa. It's actually pretty economic.
It's there's so many like brunch places that are like $8.99 for eggs and endless mimosas. They can't be that expensive. No. They always use the worst orange juice at bars too. Have you ever noticed that?
They like water it down or something.
I think it's a powder at first, and they there's like a crust at the bottom, and they put them in those white bottles with the funny spouts, and you're like, you're not fooling anyone. But the cranberry juice is usually fine at places. That at least is okay.
That's usually pretty safe.
Yeah.
I just go for beer every time. I don't want to deal with multiple liquids.
I don't drink, and I love telling people.
I don't drink.
I actually don't drink at all. So. All right.
So I'm just kidding. Anytime I say that I'm not drinking at an event, people are like, oh, okay. I'm like, excuse me. This is a personal choice I'm making right now. All right. Okay, wait. What tone am I supposed to approach this next with?
Your normal tone is, but I think we'll be fine for this one. I don't remember the whole joke. I tune out when I'm writing and talking. It's too annoying.
Fair enough. Okay. In tech news, this week, Apple announced that they were abandoning plans to develop a self-driving electric car. Apple realized they would have a hard time selling a self-driving car since, unlike its normal hardware and subscription models, they'd need to keep the car safe and updated and not entirely obsolete after only 3 years. Plus, there is too much PR risk, just as we've seen with the crashes from Tesla. Apple is much more comfortable with its customers dying while they're trying to text on its phone or driving while wearing the Apple version from Vision Pro. VR driving. Sorry. To celebrate the news of reduced competition, Elon Musk impregnated a white woman.
I feel like maybe I need to put maybe what I should do is tell people all right, just so you know, if there's 2 slash marks before you read a line, that's going to be the punch line. So maybe the sort of the build up, you know what I mean? That might help with some of them too. Cause the whole thing of Apple realized it would have a hard time selling a self-driving car since, unlike its normal hardware and subscription models, you have to make the car safe and updated and not entirely obsolete after only 3 years. And I really liked that one. That's too true. It hurts my feelings.
No, it hurts my feelings. I wouldn't trust a single vehicle manufactured by Apple.
They'd probably try to bring the lightning port back to it. This takes 1 year to charge the whole car. or you have to plug in 50 lightning cables. Adobe is experimenting with the new AI music generating technology that could be incorporated into its creative applications. Listen, Adobe, if I wanted to... I like this joke. Listen, Adobe, if I wanted to listen to soulless music generated by an algorithm based on what computers say would be popular, I'd just listen to Ariana Grande. All right, here's that joke again, but for an entirely different group of people to enjoy. Listen, Adobe, if I wanted to listen to soulless music generated by an algorithm based on what computers say would be popular, I just listen to Ed Sheeran. And one more time, because I want to be all inclusive. Look, Adobe, listen. If I wanted to listen to soulless music generated by an algorithm based on what computers say would be popular, I'd just listen to Drake's dick.
I read that before you said it, and it was too good. I'm so glad that video doesn't have fucking sound.
Is there? I haven't seen the video. I just am aware that his dick is out there on the internet.
No one seeks the video. At some point, it's going to come across you.
Like Two Girls, One Cup. It finds you. Where you're just you're having a fine enough day, and then someone just puts Two Girls, One Cup in front of you. Like, fucking assholes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It was shown to me when I was 11, I think. Really just perfect for the growing mind.
I would have been, I think, starting college, but I think it had been out for a year or so when I saw it. Because I remember hearing about it in high school and just just dodging. Get out of here. Fuck you.
I did my best, but my friends were ready with the bullshit every time.
We fucking growing up as the world was discovering the internet and there were no rules at first. Jesus Christ, everybody did such crazy fucking shit. Anyway,
well, it was you would accidentally run into some deranged porn and a beheading video within 3 minutes of each other that you weren't even looking for.
Sometimes they combine it. Remember the BME Pain Olympics? Jesus Christ. Yeah.
I do remember that. And it's crazy because now Instagram is I saw a whisper of a nipple, you're fucked. And it's do you even remember what we used to deal with?
We think that your picture smelled like pussy when you took it, so you're going to have to take this one down.
Oh my God. Let's not introduce that into the algorithm. Have the
Filter.
women on the app be fucked.
People are clicking filters. Smells like pussy.
You get a 4D experience now with the Apple 17 Pro. All right.
Don't make a joke about how they just put a
smell.
tuna in the remote. Anyway, go on.
Okay. This one's shorter. Okay.
Yeah, this one's really short.
All right. I'm going to try to intuit the way that you would read it. I'll do my
Okay.
best.
Yeah, sure.
Research published in New Scientist Research published in New Scientist revealed that vaping, while not risk-free, poses only a small fraction of the risks associated with smoking. Unfortunately, the research also revealed that, compared to smoking, you will only possess a small fraction of the risk of looking cool. My best.
That's just a silly. I love sometimes just writing silly jokes like that. Like, and let's be honest.
No,
people,
I agree that smoking looks cooler. It does.
fucking does. I would even say, like, sometimes there are people where I'm like, I don't know, probably not my type. And then they like light a cigarette and they lean against a wall just right. And I'm like, oh, put a baby in me. Goodness sakes.
With the cigarette still in your mouth.
I want the baby to come out with a cigarette in its mouth. Fucking hanging from the umbilical cord. Just I was born this way.
Is it a boy or a girl? It's fucking rad. That's what it is.
It's a badass.
It's fucking sick.
YouTuber Christopher Luckhart posted a video documenting an abandoned... All right, I fucked my own thing up. YouTuber... I already said his name once, so I don't have to try a second time. This guy posted a video documenting an abandoned McDonald's from 1994 with a menu board that was still intact. And this menu, it was all kinds of flaunting the prices of yesteryear when the price of a meal didn't require you to work 6 days in a coal mine. You could get a Big Mac for less than $3, the whole Big Mac meal for less than $5, and you could get a 6-piece McNugget for free if you promised to vote against gay marriage. It was 1994, people. It was a different time. Meanwhile, fast food chains today are experimenting with dynamic and surge pricing models while hoping no one notices that they're causing a disease epidemic comparable to the tobacco industry. With that in mind, look out for new products coming soon like Juul Big Mac flavored vape cartridges. You'll still die, but much less quickly, as we just learned. Disclaimer, not intended for children. Wink.
Grimace shaped vape cartridges.
Oh my God. Stop, I can only get so erect.
And Grimace lube.
Speaking of
not
erections,
for children.
Speaking of erections, read this one.
Okay. Should I read it in the sexy voice?
I wouldn't. It seems like that'd be a mistake.
Okay, I won't. I'll trust you. All right. In ocean news, National Geographic has published images documenting something that has never been pictured before. 2 humpback whales mating with a special twist that will annoy your Christian parents. Both whales are dudes. What makes the sighting extra special is that this is actually the first time any humpback whale copulation has been witnessed and documented ever, gay or otherwise. But we at the let me start that again. But we at the Sometimes Show demand more research and more answers because I think all of us are wondering the same thing. If a whale can be gay, does that mean a whale can be a bear? Or an otter?
Not an otter. Don't you shame those fat kings. Oh my God. I loved that joke. I was so worried no one would get it. Yeah. If a whale
I should have read that in the sexy. Well, what are you talking about?
If a whale can, I guess okay. I'll explain later.
If a whale can be gay, does that mean the whale can be a bear?
You're right. You should have. At least the punchline you should have. You're right. I'm sorry. That was my bad.
No, it's okay. You ruined it, but it's okay.
Also in ocean news, the scientific community is extremely alarmed at higher than normal temperatures in the Atlantic Ocean right now. This all coming after 2023 was announced to be the hottest year on record. New studies confirming that we've gone well past the 1.5 degree limit that we were trying to avoid before irreversible damage would take place. And many places in the world right now are reporting that they just had what are being called lost winters. We definitely had that in Texas. And I had to burp. And currently, across the world, places are setting record highs before spring even begins. Isn't it crazy that winter is still going in March? I always think that's weird.
I think it's weird too. It
March
snowed
1st.
2 days ago here.
Yeah. Well, I guess that sounds wintry.
Yeah.
I shouldn't try to talk with water in my throat. Anyway, this means that we may have an extremely active and dangerous hurricane season coming up. It can devastate the fishing industry, and it can also wipe out corals and sea life. The ocean is warm right now. The air is warm right now. And I really, really hope that all of you understand what that means. It means it's boat season! Blah, 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 blah! Blah, 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 blah! Get out your swimsuits and head for the beach because Mother Nature is starting hot Earth summer now! Honestly, like... you may as well, because we're all gonna die. We didn't, they were like, hey, we have to do something or we're gonna pass these moments and then the world is gonna be super fucked and it's just gonna get worse and worse. And then we're like, oh, we have 12 years to fix it. I guess we'll just start fixing it in 12 years. And then, and then we just finished breaking it in only 4 because we didn't start. Anyway, so we're all going to die. So
No,
whatever.
it sounds about right.
Go enjoy the warm water.
I love that.
Yeah.
Hot Earth summer.
Hot Earth summer.
Mommy Nature is giving fire.
Oh my God. Here you go. Do you see the photo for this one?
Oh, okay. Okay. That's the me.
That is you.
I took that this day. Okay. I'm afraid. In behavioral science, new studies indicate that those who tend to have negative attitudes, especially for task management, are more likely to put off and procrastinate necessary tasks because of their unpleasantness. I was going to read more about this, but I didn't fucking feel like it, asshole! Get the fuck off my back!
It's just a fun joke. There's sometimes you just do little fun, silly jokes. Doesn't hurt anybody. Little fun joke.
This is also so me because I couldn't get any work done the other day, so I made an entire series of like Twitter polls about procrastination instead of getting my work done.
I feel like your partner's about to come in like, are you okay? Is Jimmy being a dick? What's going on?
What kind of show is this?
And then you just turn around and just yell the same thing. Get off my fucking back!
Get the fuck off my back! Oh, that would hurt his feelings.
Oh, he's so sweet. Back to the ocean. A group of okay, wait, I have to pretend myself for not protect. Prepare.
Protect.
Oh, okay.
Wait, no, go. You have to go all the way if you're gonna do that.
A group of international scientists. No, I'm not gonna do it as Trump. Back to the ocean. A group of international scientists discovered over 100 new underwater species off the coast of Chile. New corals, lobsters, and sea urchins were among the discoveries, but my favorite was this red little weirdo, which appears to have these fin feet hybrids, which anti-evolution geniuses have always assured us don't exist. You never find someone with half a fin. Where's the transition between fin and feet? When presented with the new fish, creationists were very quick to dismiss it, stating, that's not one of God's creations. That's a butt baby from those gay whales.
The fish is giving, though. It really is.
That fish definitely has 2 dads.
It's got like a very lacy aesthetic.
Oh, he's fucking fine. That dude showed up for Hot Earth Summer. I'll tell you that much.
No, he did.
That's what I know.
Feet and all.
Oh my God. Oh, wrong one. Here we go. That is it for Roast the News, but we aren't done talking about what's going on yet. Well, do you have any thoughts before we move on to our /news?
No, I just want to learn a little bit more about those gay whales.
I know. I'm like, oh. Okay, so actually, the thing is that they don't know what it is. And so they're like, we don't know. One of the whales appears to be sick, but because of whale behavior, they're like, it really could be two things. One, it could be the thing we all hope it is, that whales actually comfort each other by fucking each other. That it's like, well, I'm sorry you're sick. Here's a little fucking fuck.
Sweet.
You want a little fucking fuck?
Here's
or
my penis.
the problem is, the alternative is, you're too sick to stop me. That's the two choices right now, and they don't know which. So it's kind of like...
Oh, I love like the smarter an animal is, like the less consent.
Yeah, there's a lot of really unfortunate things happening in the animal kingdom. So while we want to celebrate that there are gay whales, don't Google more than that. Just leave it. Just be happy about the gay whales and not what it
Slap
could
it on a
be.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
Leave it at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is, but it's wild because there are other whale behaviors to make it kind of seem like could be this, could be that, who knows? But they've literally never seen humpback whales fuck ever outside of this. Well, I should say no one has seen and documented. Perhaps there are people who have seen and just been like, you will not believe what I saw when I went fishing today. It was...
Two queer whales out there.
Give me 10 minutes. I'll find a video that it was the most similar to. They're in my archive. I got them. It was like this. And then it's Two Girls, One Cup. No, but nobody's actually seen. Why'd you bring it up? Nobody's actually seen. Nobody's actually seen. I gagged. Nobody's actually seen what I have very, very weak gag reflexes. All my levers.
Now I want to gag because you gagged, because I'm the same way.
You're a sympathetic gagger. I don't even like the word gag. Making the word gag is such an asshole. Oh, there we go. I'm so sorry.
No, it didn't even happen yet.
Did you see years ago when the video of me eating sushi for a fucking like a charity thing? We hit the goal. It was like $15,000, and so I had never tried sushi because I knew I would hate it. And people were like, "All right, we hit it. You got to try the sushi. You got to try it." And so I did, and I literally threw up on stream. So disgusting.
Are you? Wow.
I don't eat anything seafood. Oh, seafood's disgusting.
Okay, that's fair.
Raise fish. For real. Raise fish sometime. You will never, ever eat it again.
But have you raised fish?
Yeah. I used to have a giant saltwater tank. It was like 140 gallons. I raised fish. I raised eel. I raised shrimp. I didn't have a lobster. That's about the only one, but those are just giant cockroaches. And they're fucking... this is what I always say to people, because whenever they would come over and they'd see my fish or my eel, they'd be like, "Oh, what's its name?" And I'd be like, "I don't fucking name it. Are you insane?" And they're like, "Why not?" I'm like, "All right. Imagine you're a dog and what your dog eats. Now imagine if instead of feeding it dog food, you fed your dog smaller dogs. Would you name a dog that you fed smaller dogs? Because that's like they're all carnivores, or whatever it means when you eat fish. Pescatarians. They're all pescatarian, and they just eat each other. Sometimes like ones they were just hanging out with. They're like, "All right, yeah, you're my best friend. Oh, what? You're a little sick? Oh, you got a little gash on your thing here?" No. They just start fucking eating their best friends.
I gotta be honest, if I had a dog that ate other dogs, I'd probably name the dog and the dogs that it was eating.
That's soul crushing.
I know, absolutely. But it's something I would have to do.
Did you ever
like,
dissect a baby pig or
a
cat or anything? Did you name them? Really?
No, I did not name the fetal pigs. I really tried to get out a cat. Do they dissect cats?
Yeah, they did at my school in Wyoming.
That is fucking crazy, Wyoming. But they're like, we don't have enough of a budget, so we're just going to scrape up what's left on the road.
Like, people out here eat fetal pigs as a delicacy. We ain't gonna, but we fucking hate cats.
Holy shit.
There's two things we love in Wyoming: dogs and whites. You give me a white dog, that's the best.
White dumb.
There's not a.
You're a Caucasian, sir.
Not a lot of black folk in Wyoming, I'm afraid.
I know. I went to Casper, Wyoming on tour 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and I literally saw an LGBTQ flag with a cross in it, like no gays here in one of the neighborhoods. I have never seen that in my life.
It's funny though. It's funny how like because there's not as many non-crackers around to piss off, the examples of people who are like blatantly racist, like to that level that they're going to go hang a flag, is actually less than like when I lived in Louisiana. There were people that had like fucking Confederate flags and then like crosses that they would put Christmas lights on, but they blinked because they weren't supposed to represent Christmas. They were supposed to represent a burning cross, as in these were Klans people. Yeah.
Whoa.
It's funny how they're like, you go to Wyoming, they're like, oh, we're racist, but when are we going to get to do it? Like, there's no, who are we going to, like, they're not around.
We don't get much of an opportunity around here.
You know, by the time we've, get to meet one, our entire interactions are, can I touch your hair? And then they're gone. Cause that's like Wyoming white folk racism. I just like, can I
touch your? No, me and my bandmate, we stayed in an Airbnb and he's gay, but I was trying to keep costs down. So we were sleeping in the same bed. So they just like assumed we were together. And we kept that assumption because the second that we walked into their house, there was a flag that said guns, God, and glory. And it was a picture of our Lord and Savior with the two machine guns crossed in front of him. And I'm like, we better keep the gay stuff under wraps while we're here.
But they, I guess, but Wyoming definitely, in fact, if I'm recalling correctly, I believe Pornhub's stats that they release every year back this up. They hate gay guys. They hate butchy lesbians. But, they had huge Girls Gone Wild events back in the day in Wyoming, in both Cheyenne and Casper. Yeah. They like their brand of lesbians, but it's the ones that make them feel small that they don't like.
Yes. Yeah, they love the femme on femme. That's just universal, I think.
Yeah.
Timeless.